Always a pleasure to talk to my next guest, Youssef Zalal, who will be fighting next on June the 5th against Sean Woodson. Youssef, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to have you back on the show. What has life been like for you since?
Man, it's been crazy. I got like training. Obviously, I have Ramadan right now. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Ramadan is so basically I don't eat or drink from sun goes up all the way sun goes down. So that's kind of like a little difficult, So I have to switch my whole schedule for the month to train at night instead of the morning. So it's been challenging, but hey, man, it's the part of the game, though.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I've been on this intermittent fasting kick lately. I've lost like 5 pounds in a week, and I'm starting to learn more about it. Is that something that, I mean, obviously that's what you're doing like with Ramadan, but is that something you do normally?
Yeah, so that's once a year. So that will happen every once a year. As a Muslim, that's what we do. So once a year. Last year I think was in June, which is I think I'm pretty sure it was around June. Yeah, this time it was early in the year. So it just depends on how the year goes. But usually that 30 days out of the year, it's all Ramadan.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is like when you're in camp, right, and you're trying to keep like your weight in check or you're trying to even lose weight, do you like intermittent fast and stick to that while you're trying to cut down?
To be honest, I never tried intermittent fasting, right? I never did that. Like I usually, even when cutting weight, like I usually eat every couple of hours, right? So it's not like I'm starving. But in Ramadan, it's like a lot different, right? I gotta eat a lot heavier than I eat on a normal basis because I want to save all my energy for the day. So I want to have enough calories to go through the day. And I don't know if you met me, I'm like a Pikachu out here. So it's like I just lose calories just walking. So it's definitely that's the challenging part for me, as a tall, skinny African, that's the one that's challenging for me.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Well, I know we're all excited to see you back in the cage here with this big matchup with Sean Woodson. Tell me, what has camp been like for you thus far? I know you just finished up doing a private workout with a client of yours. What has this camp like, and what has your life been like?
Man, it's been crazy. I tell you that. Like, I had the craziest year last year, one of the craziest years of my life. It's always in the history books for me. It's like when I look back, I always look back at the year. But things change after like you lose twice in a row and like kind of go in and like it's not really that much change for me. It's more of just kind of back in the game, and kind of really just focus on what we're doing now. And yeah, man, camp has been going great, man. We have people at night. I'm training at night with people, strength conditioning and all that stuff. It's been amazing.
What did you take from those losses? Obviously, you didn't get finished; they were unanimous decision losses, but you never want that. Obviously, you were really on a roll, 3-fight win streak right to start off your UFC career. So I'm sure this is a little disappointing. What are you taking from that here moving forward?
Man, it taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot. It's those guys 9 out of 10 out of beat. I beat myself within those fights. I don't know why I let it happen, but we got a game plan for that. Obviously, so that's where you learn, you live and learn, right? So you go on and learn that mistake and then move on, right? So that's basically what we're doing. But I think that's the biggest thing that really changing or you guys gonna see change. Mostly my mental part than anything.
Yeah. When you lost the first one to Wu Choi and then you went on to face Topuria, did you feel any like added pressure when you had that first UFC loss? Like, did you feel like maybe you put too much on yourself to go in there and perform, and that could have been an issue?
Definitely. I always put pressure on myself. That's like the kind of better than good. That's like I don't know. It's usually helps you sometimes doesn't. So it is what it is. But definitely going into that, like they're like, oh, the main card, blah 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 blah. But it is what it is. I'm just here to fight and I'm here to hurt people. That's what we're in this business for.
Are you one of those guys that if you have a loss, you want to get that rematch back and get a win? Or do you not care to fight these guys? You're just going to move forward and fight whoever the UFC gives you?
I mean, I really don't care whatever the UFC gives me, but I do want my rematch against Ilya Taporia though. That's the guy I want. But that's because I feel like that's like the next level. That's the guy you beat. You get your name higher. And obviously he did the same thing to me. You know, he beat me and got his real quick. I mean, he's fighting Ryan Hall for I don't know when, but he's fighting Ryan Hall. So it's kind of like that's where it makes me like see it. And I'm like, oh, okay, because that fight I was not very like I was, you know, it sucks you lost, but it's not. I was very happy with my effort. Like I literally gave it everything I have, and from the first to the third round, you know, and got out of the crazy submissions, which is crazy. But for me, that's the one that I really want to get back. But to be honest, I really don't care.
A lot of fighters, when they lose for the first time in their weight class, sometimes they consider maybe changing weight classes. Has that ever crossed your mind? Like, can you even make the cut to 135 if you wanted to do that? Or would you want to fight at 155? Or do you just feel like featherweight is going to be your home?
No, I don't know who told you 55. Hey, I'm saying 45, man. We were talking about 35. If you guys follow my career, we've been talking about a lot 35. But hey, man, I'm 24 years old, you know, and I get older and older, and now the game it's like completely changed. There's so much change in the game. It's like it's not just about muscle anymore. It's about technique. It's about what you know, what's your IQ, what you bring in, what your cardio looks like, and stuff like that. And we really haven't been like, oh, this guy needs to switch weight classes, you know, like this is a bad. It really hasn't been that issue, and that's where we at. You know, it's not like 45 is the sweet home for me.
Gotcha. Well, that does make sense. What are you walking around at normally? Like, what did you weigh today when you stepped on the scale? I'm sure you did.
162.
Okay. So that's really not that big of a weight cut then to get down to 45. I know a lot of guys cut all the way down from upwards of 170 pounds to featherweight.
Yeah. Oh, I think I've seen more. I think I see people like a 175 to like close to 180. But remember, those guys are if cardio is a big thing, you know, especially in this game. If you don't have cardio, you pretty much are an open wound, you know.
I know all too well. I've done a little bit of sparring here in my local gym, and about 3 minutes in, I can't breathe. So I'm with you. Cardio is king. Now, UFC 261 has been like one of the best cards that we've seen in a very, very long time. Give me your takeaway from that. Like, what is going to be the signature moments that you remember looking back at that card? Because I'm sure you watched it.
Oh my God! You know what's the crazy thing is, I put it on. It's the first fight of the night. And then they just showing the crowd and stuff like that. That gave me the chills too. I was like, oh my God, like it brought me back to my UFC debut. And then as soon as the girls walked out and all that stuff, the fight start, it's that first right hand or crack the other girl. And I was like, oh my God, this is how they start the card. This is crazy. I think that was the moment for me to be like, okay, this card is about to be fun. And that's when I was like, that's that moment I remember it from Saturday. That was like my main memory out of that Saturday.
Yeah, I can't wait until everything's back to normal and the fans are in attendance, no matter where the UFC goes, what venue that they're going to be going and holding shows at. Do you know for this fight, will there be fans in attendance? I think it's going to be in Vegas, right?
That's what they told me. I don't think there's no attendance. I'm pretty sure it isn't, but.
You must be excited for that to come, though.
Oh my God! Especially after watching Saturday. Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah. How good is Kamaru Usman?
Oh, he just proved how good he is. You know, he showed that he's best in the world.
Do you think prime George St. Pierre is better than Kamaru?
God, it's kind of hard to say, right? Like George St. Pierre was ahead of his game. In 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, but I feel like Kamaru Usman is ahead of the game on this one 10 years later, you know, so and the game is crazy involving too. It's not like it's the same thing, you know, he's showing guys like he can knock you out, he can strike with you, he can like jab your face to death. He can do a lot of stuff. And that's what I feel like. I think Usman is just a better mixed martial artist, I think.
Yeah, man, he's definitely the best I've seen since GSP. I'll tell you what, the one fight that I want to see right now, and I think it's going to happen next, is Usman and Covington, that rematch. That first fight was a banger, and I think the second fight will be really, really intriguing. Tell me, man, like as far as this camp goes, with these two losses that you suffered, have you been focusing on anything specific? Like, has this been a normal training camp, or have you been like really dialing in on something specific?
Man, I don't know why people do that. Like they go, you know, they lose 2 in a row. They'll be like, oh my God, I gotta change the camp. I gotta change this. I gotta change that. You just gotta be real with yourself, man. You know exactly what happened. You know exactly what you did. You talk to your coaches. You talk to whatever the team that you have, you know, and kind of go from there. It's not. I don't really need to change a whole lot. It's some interior things that I need to change on my side, and obviously we keep getting better as the training goes. But yeah, it's nothing different than it's before, right? Yeah, obviously there's different game plans, there's different that, but no, yeah, not a whole lot change.
Now we're still about 5 weeks out from fight night, so you still have plenty of hard days left in camp to really get that work in. Who thus far? Who have been some of the main guys that you've been with?
Oh man, it's been crazy. I have this guy. His name is Todd. He's an amateur, but he's like 6 foot something. But you know, I gotta go with tall guys. But I've been Dustin Jacoby, which is fighting this Saturday. He's been helping me a lot. I've been going with Josh. He's fighting for the LFA middleweight belt. It's been a lot of big guys, which has been crazy, man. It's as a smaller guy going with the 85ers, 205s. That's it's been a little difficult, I should say, but it's been a hell of fun though.
Well, I think that actually makes a lot of sense though, because Sean Woodson, he's the tallest featherweight in the division. I actually think he's taller than any lightweight in the division, and he has a 79-inch reach. So this is going to be a very unique test for you. When you look at his skill set and just the measurables about how big he is, how are you going to be able to get on the inside and really achieve what you want to do here and ultimately get the win?
Go fight. That's what I need to do. You know, this is not a petty match. You know, it's go in there and fight. I don't care how tall you are, how skilled you are. You know, I'm bringing my technique and everything in. You know, but we'll make it a dogfight if we need to. You know, and that's what matters. You know, and hey, we'll see what he brings to the table.
I told you before we went live, I literally just finished interviewing him, and he had nothing but good things to say about you. He said you're a very tough opponent. However, he did say he doesn't feel like this fight is going to go the distance. Do you feel the same? Do you feel like someone's going to get finished here, or do you feel like this really could be one of those fights where you go the full 15?
I mean, I hope he doesn't go with full 15. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, like you said, he is a tough guy. You know, it's not like in the UFC. It's like, oh, it's an easy matchup and this and that. You know, he's definitely a tough guy, but you gotta bring a lot with me to even finish me or come close to finish me. So I would love to see that, and I would love to see what he can bring out and test out of me.
Have you fought anyone outside of like training camp, like the guys that you're sparring with and getting it after with it, like at your camp, like him? Like like anybody in your past? Like, have you fought anyone that's similar to him, height wise, range wise?
Yes, I fought a kid named Clay Weimer. That was a very awkward fight. That was a very awkward fight, but ended up finishing him in the second round.
Okay. So is Sean going to get finished in the second, or do you think this could maybe get into the third? Give me your official prediction.
Oh God, I would love to finish in the first round.
Okay. Well, I know I can't wait, man. June the 5th, it's going to be here before you know it. Youssef Zalal, the Moroccan Devil, against Sean Woodson in a highly anticipated featherweight bout. Before I let you go, man, tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, my man. Thank you for having me on the show. Even though you spoke to my opponent, I'm just messing with you. I'll just mess with you. No, man, do your thing, man. Yeah, thank you for having me. You guys can follow me on Instagram, the Moroccan Devil. Facebook, just my name, and then the Twitter, Moroccan Devil. I'm Moroccan Devil _45, and that's pretty much it.